Reigns out injured.
Charlotte Flair booed.
And Logan Paul makes an appearance. Hello, welcome to Wrestle MSX. I'm Michael.
I'm Sally.
There was only one way to open the show, and that's with the Royal Rumble winner himself, Jey Uso. He says he didn't think he had it as a single star, as he'd started with his brother, then joined his cousins, and then the bloodline. But coming out here, he's got it now. He's met with the fans' approval, adding he worked to get to his position. He's going to WrestleMania, and it's just me, Us. Out comes the party pooper, Gunther. He would offer his congratulations, but the possible matchup doesn't appeal to Gunther, adding that Jey can't lace his boots. The ring general point blank refuses to do this again. Not that Jey said he's going to challenge Gunther, but if he did, then Gunther has no choice in the matter. No. Gunther goes on to say that beating Jey at Mania adds nothing to his legacy, but beating Cena, Roman or Punk would have. If you choose me, Jey, WrestleMania will be the most horrible display of violence this business has ever seen, and I will put you down like a diseased dog. Gunther then reminds Jey he has options and that maybe he should consider them. Gunther drops his mic and walks off, but Jey stops him. The Usos says he's going to SmackDown to holler at Cody, but whoever he chooses, he's going to Mania as the 2025 Royal Rumble winner, but walking out of Mania as a champion. It was 8 minutes 40 roughly from Jey saying, "Please hit my music," to him actually cutting his promo in the ring. That's nearly 9 minutes of yeeting. I'm not sure he's quite over with the crowd. Yeet. Subscribe and make our day, but not New Day, because they suck.
Next we see John Cena.
Do we?
From the post-show of the Rumble, saying he'll be in the Elimination Chamber, because after 23 years of service, he feels that opportunity is earned. He adds that he will win it, main event WrestleMania, and win his 17th championship.
I hope he does. First match of the night, Penta versus Ludwig Kaiser. Hard to call to start with, as no one really gained control until Penta threw Kaiser over the top rope, shades of his Rumble exit, with Kaiser striking back with a Death Valley driver on the apron. After a break, we find Kaiser striking Penta with fists and kicks. Penta asking for it before hulking up, turning things around with his headstand double gut kick in the corner and then going for the cover, but only getting 2. We then have a chop off with Penta winning out and sending Kaiser over the top rope again before following up with a dive. Kaiser re-enters the ring and is met with a crossbody into cover for 2 before we're back to chopping. Kaiser hits a rolling senton and gets a 2 count before catching Penta as he was about to jump over him, with Penta then countering Ludwig into the sacrifice as they came off the ropes. 1 Penta driver later and the match is over, with Penta picking up another win.
Jackie Redmond gets in the ring to interview the luchador, asking him what we can expect next. As Penta thanks her, Pete the Butch Dunn's music plays and he appears at the top of the entranceway. Penta looks over, with Kaiser then attacking him from behind. The German then hits the square hammer on the Mexican before leaving the ring, looking at Dunn and then heading to the back.
Michael Cole then tells us about what happened to JD McDonagh last week following his moonsault to Ivar and crashing into the announcer's desk. He suffered 2 broken ribs and a punctured lung, which I'm sure you're all aware of. In my opinion, maybe Ivar could have done a bit more to protect his fellow professional and breaking JD's fall a little more. Who knows?
In the Judgment Day locker room now, when we see an irate Finn Balor walk in. He tells Dom that not only did he steal his tag team title rematch, he stole his tag team partner and got him hurt in the process. So next time he wants to call the shots, maybe we need to find him a babysitter.
Makes no sense at all.
Dom and Balor square up, but Liv intervenes, saying her and Raquel have a tag title opportunity. Balor complains that Dom does all of this for her, but nothing for him. Liv tells Finn that Dom got him an Elimination Chamber Qualifying Match, adding that from now on, they're going to listen to Balor.
Well, if you listen to Finn, you clearly don't win. Out next, Charlotte Flair. I thought she was Hogan for a second. Anyway, she's missed the fans, the booing and the cheering. But while she's talking about how hard last year was, you can hear a smattering of boos. She tells the fans she loves them before going on to say she's the greatest WWE star in the history of the industry. She then returns to her story of how hard things were last year. Some fans still jeering her, not loudly but it's audible, when she's interrupted by Rhea Ripley. Ripley gets in the ring, tells Flair this is her show and that she respects her before asking Flair to pick her as she beat her the last time they faced off at WrestleMania. Flair shoots back saying that the first time they met at Mania, she beat Rhea. Rhea replies by saying that back then she was just a kid. Flair says she's going to NXT tomorrow to see if Julia inspires her, and after that she's going to SmackDown to see if Tiffany inspires her. Flair then says that Rhea jumped the gun, showing her that she's still a kid, and we'll see her next week. Flair goes to leave the ring, but Rhea steps in front, stopping her. Ripley says that you thinking I'm a kid proves you don't respect me the way I respect you, so please pick me so I can beat your respect into you. Now, I think this promo didn't go quite according to plan. I think the booing surprised Flair, and that's why she asked the fans to boo after she said she was the greatest WWE star, and she became arrogant, which I think was a coping mechanism for her. I think the booing caught her off guard and she didn't like it. Either that, or the fans may have been showing their displeasure at her winning the Rumble. I mean, it was poor to just put her straight back in the main event at Mania. She could have entered the Elimination Chamber and won that. But that booing rocked her, and I think she knows she doesn't really deserve to be main eventing that quickly.
Yeah.
I think it got her, and she was like, oh, and she just like, oh, well, I'm the best.
Yeah.
Well, you're not, but no. I'd just move her on, I would. We've got so many new stars.
I know.
And you're just bringing out the old one. I know she wants to come back.
Yeah,
I know she's
I don't mind
young
her
enough.
being back.
But
that's fine.
Just,
Just go straight to the top.
Yeah, just work
Yeah.
her way into it. I mean, Cena didn't win the Rumble. And if anybody deserves that shot straight away, it's him.
Yeah.
I think he'll get it. I think he'll get
He'll
the
get
title
there.
this
He'll get
year.
there.
Whether he main events Mania, I do not know. But to do the same for Flair when she's not on the same level as Cena, nowhere near, is wrong. Anyway, agree, disagree, let us know in the comments below. I'm sure you won't.
Backstage, Jackie Redmond is speaking with Sami Zayn. She asks him what his mindset is going up against CM Punk in a qualifying match for the Elimination Chamber. Zayn speaks about how disappointed he is about losing the Royal Rumble before spotting somebody off camera who he needs to go and talk to. He wanders off and sides up to Jey Uso. Jey says he wasn't aiming for him as it was Jey that eliminated Sami from the Rumble. Sami tells him to stop before hugging his fellow Uso, saying he's happy for him and that this moment is his. Jey exits right before Karrion Kross appears. Kross asks Sami what it's like watching everyone else live out his dreams. Sami says he's sick of seeing Karrion all the time, and that if he keeps coming up to him all the time, they're going to have a problem. Kross says he's not here to be a problem, but he could be, getting right in Sami's face.
After a break, we see Rhea Ripley walking through backstage when she comes across IYO SKY. Sky says she may see Ripley at WrestleMania, with Sky then walking off. As the camera follows Sky, she's attacked by Liv Morgan, with Rhea running over for the save. Liv runs off, and while Rhea's tending to IYO, Raquel Rodriguez attacks Ripley, pushing her over some backstage equipment. Morgan comes back, tells IYO she'll see her later, laughs, and then walks off with her Judgment Day stablemate.
Out next, The New Day, with a new song and new entrance graphics, taking on Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio. I noticed the 2K25 ratings for each wrestler as well, which was a nice little touch. This one then popped up advertising a future Elimination Chamber qualifying match between Rey Mysterio and Logan Paul. Why is Paul on 90? I mean, surely that has to be a typo.
Oh my God.
Can you imagine the other wrestlers that are lower than him? They will be furious.
90s for the real legends of wrestling, 90 and up.
Not
Maybe a
Logan
few
Paul.
active, but certainly not Logan Paul 90. I don't think so. Anyway, on with the match. Lee takes it to Kingston before tagging in Rey, with the two then double teaming Kofi before Rey goes for a cover after a basement dropkick, only getting two. Kofi makes the tag with Xavier coming in, but suffers a super kick from the freshly tagged in Dragon Lee. Kofi tags in, trying a top turnbuckle move, which Lee averts before dropkicking him as he hangs upside down in the corner. Lee moves to the apron as Logan Paul's music plays out, which Kofi takes advantage of by pulling Lee down to the mat after he'd gone to the top turnbuckle, with Woods pushing Rey off the apron. Back from the break, New Day are in control, with Logan sitting at ringside and Kofi coming off the top rope and covering Lee for two.
Woods comes back in, poses, and then gets sit-down powerbombed by Lee. Woods and Lee both tag with Rey coming in and teeing off on Kingston before setting him up for the 619. Woods pulls Kofi to safety, so Rey has to make do with a seated senton to Kofi from the apron. Rey gets up, but Logan Paul gets in his face. Rey pushes Logan to the floor, with Lee hitting a Hurricane Rana to Woods, who's on the apron, and sending him to the floor. Rey sends Kofi back into the ring and into the referee, which causes a distraction. Logan then pulls Rey from the ring as he's sliding in, with Rey landing heavily on the floor outside. Paul throws Rey back into the ring. Kofi hits Trouble in Paradise and covers Mysterio for the 1, 2, 3.
We then learn that Roman Reigns is out for the foreseeable future, according to Cole, which I'm not surprised about after seeing that double-footed stomp by Seth at the Rumble.
I know.
That's like the best stomp I've seen. It's like, both feet on his head. Unbelievable.
Backstage, Kathy Kelly is with CM Punk. She says he has an opportunity to rectify not winning the Rumble tonight in an Elimination Chamber qualifying match against Sami Zayn. Punk apologises to Zayn fans, saying he ain't gonna win. Punk is.
We then see IYO SKY walking through backstage, passing PFC as she readies for her match later against Liv Morgan in an Elimination Chamber qualifying match. We head straight to the outside with Sky bouncing Morgan's head off the apron before we go back in the ring. Pin attempts by each woman only garnering 2, with Liv then getting a second pin attempt after a running knee and basement drop kick, but again only for 2. IYO clocks Morgan with a right, sending her out the ring and then following with a dive. We come back from the break to find Liv in control and hitting the 3 amigos.
Sky puts a stop to Morgan's dominance with a knee to the face, drop kick from the top turnbuckle and a stomp to the stomach. The follow-up cover gets 2. Morgan then dodges a bullet train by Sky, allowing her to hit a backstabber. Sky knocks Morgan down with a kick and goes for her moonsault, but Raquel distracts her just enough to allow Morgan to push her down to the apron. Morgan then goes for a sunset flip powerbomb over the rope and to the floor, but Sky hangs onto the rope. The two fight on the outside, with Sky hitting a German suplex and then a springboard moonsault. Sky throws Morgan back into the ring, climbs the ropes and launches herself off. Morgan catches her with a codebreaker, covers and fails as Sky kicks out on 2.
Unbelievable.
We then end up on the top turnbuckle where Sky hits a Hurricane Rana, followed by a bullet train. Sky then goes for the moonsault, but Morgan gets her knees up. IYO then hits a German suplex that leaves both women down.
Rodriguez is encouraging Liv to get up when out comes Mommy, attacking Raquel. Morgan sees this, goes over to Rhea and pulls her away. Rhea turns around and hits Morgan. The ref calls for the bell because of outside interference and thus disqualifying IYO SKY. Morgan qualifies for the Elimination Chamber, and after the match Ripley tries to apologise to IYO, but IYO isn't interested.
Backstage, Kathy Kelly has the Wall Raiders and asks what's next for them. They start by talking about JD and what it's like coming through injuries, when they're interrupted by American Made. Gable says his boys can out-wrestle the Raiders, with the Raiders firing back asking what your boys are going to do when it turns into a fight. The Raiders then head off. Gable then says he's going on a quest to conquer the dark arts of Lucha Libre, and that when he gets back he wants to see Niall with the IC belt and the Creeds with tag team gold. Gable then puts on his sunglasses before saying he'll be back and walking off. Where is he going? Once again, let us know in the comments because we have no idea.
No, he's obviously going away for a while, but where's he going? Out next, Cowboy Seth Rollins. But before that, Kathy Kelly has Adam Pearce backstage, who has a massive announcement. AJ Styles is on Raw.
Cool.
Bron Breakker then shows up telling Pearce to keep Styles away from him before asking what's next for him. Bron then asks to go talk business about the IC title. In fact, he says now, please, which doesn't really fit his character because he's a badass. Why is he saying please? Come on, Bron. Be more badass.
Back to Seth in the ring. First, he's happy that Jey won the Rumble and is proud of what he's done. Second, he loves seeing the scumbag CM Punk being dumped over the top rope by that idiot, Logan Paul. And thirdly, Roman Reigns lost the Rumble and might not make it to WrestleMania at all. He is hurt. Seth's path to WrestleMania is through the Elimination Chamber, with him having a match in a few weeks against Finn Balor. Seth then calls out Sami Zayn as he wants to bend his ear. Zayn comes down and gets in the ring. After running down CM Punk, saying he doesn't care about the people or the company, Rollins tells Zayn to put Punk's mania dream in the dirt. As Seth heads back up the rampway, out comes Punk. Seth removes his coat, ready to fight, but referees get in the way. They can't quite stop a nice little slap by Seth that catches Punk on the cheek though, as the two are guided away from each other.
Last match of the night, CM Punk versus Sami Zayn in an Elimination Chamber Qualifying Match. After exchanging headlocks and a one-count pinfalls, we descend into something that resembles a pub fight before we get to chopping. Punk started working over Zayn's left arm before we get back to chopping and mounted punches by Zayn. Punk pulls off a swinging neckbreaker before going upstairs and taking too long to do anything, with Sami getting up to him and pulling off a superplex. We come back from a break to find Punk working the left arm again before Sami hits a tornado DDT.
Sami tries to turn Punk over for the cover, but can't because of his injured left arm. Punk hits a running knee and then tries to follow up with a running bulldog. Sami counters into a blue thunderbomb and covers for 2. Sami then goes for the haluva kick after Punk knocked himself senseless by missing Sami in the corner and connecting with the ring post, but doesn't hit as Punk meets him halfway in the ring and locks in the Anaconda Vice.
After what seemed an age, Sami finally makes it to the ropes. The two then fight in the corner, with Punk looking at the Mania sign and once again telling Sami he's not on his level. Punk then runs to the opposite corner, but Zayn follows, lifts his leg for the haluva kick and misses as Punk turns around and dodges just in the nick of time. What a dodge. It's unbelievable. Punk goes for the GTS. Sami counters into a small package. The ref counts to 2.5 and Punk kicks out. The two then start brawling with Punk going for a GTS. Sami fights it off and then hits an exploder, readying another haluva kick. As Sami sets off, Punk comes out the corner, scoops him up and hits the GTS. Punk then progresses to the Elimination Chamber as he covers Sami for the victory. After the match, the two men shake hands and leave the ring. But then, out of nowhere, Kevin Owens appears, pushing Sami from behind into CM Punk and then setting about his fellow Canadian. After beating Zayn up, KO sets up and hits his new infamous Package Piledriver, with Raw going off air as we look at a deranged...
Yeah, I think I'd go with that, yeah.
Kevin Owens. I thought Owens was out.
Oh, yeah.
Dead. Not dead, obviously.
But
Very
very
surprised to see him, but I don't want to see Owens Zayn at Mania,
no.
if that's where this is heading. I'm not a fan of either of them. I like Owens now. Not now, but I like his character as it is.
Yeah.
But I'm not really a fan of them two fighting.
Yeah, no.
I don't want to see that. No, it's not for me.
Charlotte, maybe breaking character, not liking the booing. Seemed real to me.
It did. I don't think she liked that. And big question, where is Gable going?
No idea.
I mean, what is he doing? He's just, I'll be back. Mini Terminator.
Any comments or views you'd like to share, then please feel free to leave them in the comment section down below.
Thank you again for watching.
And we'll see you Saturday for SmackDown.